Hi, welcome to CaTFisH's Corner. I'm your host, CaTFisH, and today we're going to be reviewing the season premiere of The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 601, First Time Again. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to it. Episode opens up with Rick looking over Pete, with that shot back up at Rick with pointing the gun, and Deanna says, "Rick, do it." Boom, he does it, and you hear, "Rick?" from Morgan. And all of a sudden you hear a voiceover of Rick saying, "I know this is an insane world, but it's insane times. Insane things happen." And he's discussing it. He's doing a Rick speech, and it's a wide shot, and there is thousands of zombies behind him, and this huge rock quarry. And there's a couple of Alexandrias you don't really recognize. Ethan Embry, who we're calling Eaton Embry now, who played Carter, and all the regulars are there. It's this plan that they have to herd all of these walkers from the rock quarry to get them away from Alexandria. So before we get into that, there's a bunch of black and white flashbacks that catch us, the audience, up on everything that every character has been doing since the end of the season, even though it picks up right where, but all the questions we had. So let's just go down the list. Rick, he's cool, calm, collected, but crazy Rick. You do what he says or you're fucked. Keep going down the list. Carl, only scene he really had was he climbs up on top of a gazebo, which Enid is sitting there, who could be the new Sophia, comic Sophia, and she puts her hand on top of Carl's hand, and it's just a nice little sweet scene. And then it throws the focus to Ron sitting in the background, like looking like the jealous boyfriend, So be a love triangle there or what? We'll see how it plays out. Let's see, stay with the Grimes family. Judith Grimes. Seeing, oh man, does she look like baby Shane? Holy cow, that nose. Oh, those features. So baby Shane, Rick brings her out. He's talking to Morgan on the porch. Pretty much asks Morgan to live with them in that house, and asks if he wants to hold baby Judith. And of course Morgan does, because he's a good dude. And it's just a really heartwarming scene. See, going down the line, Glenn, he's doing the plan with Nicholas and Heath, where they have to, when the herd's coming through, there's like a Tractor Supply store. There's all these zombies pounding the wall, so they have to kill all the zombies so the herd don't get off the track that everybody's herding them in. The herd. See, Maggie, she had a scene with Tara, who Tara's okay. Explained to her the whole Nicholas Glenn thing, even though Glenn said he just took one that ricocheted. But she told Tara the truth. Let's see, Carol, she's continuing her charade. At the meeting, she just, "Oh, this is so terrifying. Oh, it's terrifying." And Morgan actually calls her out on that. Not really calls her out, but he's like, "Carol, how long have you been with Rick?" She's like, "Oh, since Atlanta." He's like, "Are you a cop?" She's like, "Why would you ask me that?" He's like, "The way you always look out for things." So, Morgan, headstrong dude. Awesome scene with Abraham. Oh man, Michael Cudlitz, best performance of the episode. So he's covered in blood. He's got a body over his shoulders, obviously Ridgy. He lays him down, takes out a pint of whiskey, drinks it, pours one to his homie Ridge, and gets teary-eyed. And you can see he's got the blood all over him from Ridgy and probably Pete's face, which he actually mentions later. And I don't know, he takes off the wedding ring, and then it goes forward a little bit, and he's sitting on the porch, and he's trying to put the wedding ring on top of the whiskey bottle, and it's just to no avail. He's falling down, and he finally gets it. Sasha walks past and just kind of gives her the peace sign. And then later during the plan, when they're doing the herd, Sasha and Abraham are together, which they haven't had a lot of screen time together. And Abraham just wants to know if she's okay, and Sasha's still dealing with it, if that's what we can call it. And Abraham jumps out of the car and just goes on a little zombie killing spree when a couple of them get off the track. And he herds them back to the herd, and that's pretty much the end of Sasha and Abraham. I mean, they just were leading the way with Daryl on his motorcycle. See, Daryl, Rick tells him, like, "We're not recruiting people anymore. It's not safe. We're taking care of ourselves." And Daryl's like, "I don't agree with you at all." And later in the episode, he even tells him, he's like, "Man, you know how you said taking care of people? Well, recruit people and bring them to us. That is taking care of ourselves. Or some shit like that. And, you know, doing his Daryl thing. And he's out there on his motorcycle leading the way with like 50,000 zombies behind him, which was such a cool shot of him just putting it along. Let's see, Eugene. So he overhears Carter's plan of we're going to kill Rick, and which was Nicholas in the comic book, and it was Glenn who overheard. But this plays out very quickly, not exactly like it did in the comic book, where you know, he's about to kill Eugene, and then Rick comes in and he's just like, you guys are idiots, and diffuses the situation and does the whole, you think you gonna take this from me, from Glenn, from Daryl, Michonne? And the guy's like, oh, kill me, and Rick doesn't kill him. But favorite scene with Eugene was when Heath from the comic book Heath, who Corey Hawkins is a spitting image of Heath, and was great. He shows up in a flashback. Eugene's watching the gate for Holly, who we still haven't seen, and says that Holly told me she'd be back in 5 clicks, but that was about 5 clicks ago. And he's like, who the hell are you? And he pretty much says, you know, he's a new guy. And him and Heath have a little funny exchange, you know. He's just kind of like, who the hell is this Eugene guy, you know? And then he asks him, you know, does anything happen? And Eugene's just like, Mom will get from the horse's mouth, Deanna, you know? Because, you know, all the shit with Pete happened. So Heath's group has been on a run for the past several weeks. And, you know, they've never met Rick or anybody in the Survivor group. And so it's good to have Heath on the show. And, of course, like I said, he was with Nicholas and Glenn on that plan where they had to go to the Tractor Supply and kill those zombies there. See, Rosita, pretty much her only scene, she's taking care of Tara. Other than that, she was standing in the background during the big meeting at Deanna's house. See, Tara, she was bedridden at the beginning of the episode. Of course, she had the conversation with Maggie about Nicholas. So she's sitting there. Rosita's taking care of her in the flashback. Glenn and Nicholas come in after, you know, the season 5 finale where they're out in the woods fighting, and Nicholas even shot Glenn. But Glenn makes up a little story. And then Eugene walks in, and Tara's like, I'm glad you didn't change your hair, and, you know, a little funny thing like that. And other than the convo with Maggie later about what really happened with Nicholas, that was it for Tara. Deanna, great, we're going to do whatever Rick says. That's pretty much it. I mean, she's just staring out a window. The poor woman lost her husband, her son. You know, they only got the other son left, who seems kind of like a jackass, Spencer. But anyways, and then she's sitting there in her husband's blood, and Father Gabriel walks up, and she straight tells him, she's like, you were wrong. And Father Gabriel, you know, he knows it. Now let's get to Father Gabriel. He keeps volunteering for things. He wants to help, and Rick's just like, no, you know, he's just, no, you cannot help. So there's this one scene, he's like, well, I would like to help out the plan during the big meeting. And as soon as he says something, Rick just turns and goes, no. And that's all he had to give him, you know. It was funny. And then, let's see, talked about Heath. Oh my God. Oh, gross maggots. Gotta get that taken care of. What is... Oh, fuck. Falling apart here, people. Good God. Ow. God damn, we gotta get that fixed. Oh, okay, shows up, when Heath showed up, he was with Scott. Remember Scott from the comic book? Pretty much when we first get introduced to Heath in the comic book, he's with Scott, and Scott's got a broken leg. And the actor who played Scott, name escapes me at the moment, but he's actually the husband of Sonika Martin Green, who plays Sasha. So that's cool to have a little family on set. He was also with Annie, and I'm not familiar with Annie. Of course, they've been gone for weeks. See, Tobin, get back to some more Alexandrians. Tobin volunteers, you know, for Rick's plan as soon as Deanna gives him, like, the okay. She says, we're going to do what Rick says. Tobin's pretty much like, yeah, I'm on board, let's do this. So Tobin's come around. Olivia, fat food girl, let the fat girl take care of the food. Her only scene is in the meeting, and she's kind of in the background, and that's it. Let's see, Jessie, okay. Jessie, of course, she's at the meeting. They have a little flashback scene where Sam's curled up in her arms, and Ron storms off the couch. And, of course, it was after, you know, Pete got executed. See, Ron, he's just in a bad place, man. He you know, his dad's dead. I mean, that's terrible. So I mean, even though if he was abusive, it's still his fucking father, right? So they're just going to dump the body somewhere. They're not even going to bury him in Alexandria. So Ron overhears like Deanna, Rick talking about this, that they're going to dump the body. So he sneaks out and follows Rick and Morgan and everyone, and follows and wants to see where they're going to bury the body. And this is when they actually come across the rock quarry and all the zombies in the flashback. So Rick saves Ron from some zombies, and Ron just pretty much, shrugs it off like, fuck you, whatever, starts walking away. Rick's like, hey, no, you're not supposed to be out here. It's not safe. You could die if I would have saved you. You would have been dead. Turn to zombies. All this, like fatherly advice, and this son of a bitch just killed his dad. So, he doesn't like that. So when Rick talks to Jesse later, Jesse's like, you can't touch him, because, he kind of grabbed his arm, turned him around. You cannot touch my son. It's like, that's not your job and everything. So that's pretty much it with Jesse. And like I said, with Sam, the only time we even see Sam is like crying in his mom's arms, curled up on the couch after Pete's death. See, Nicholas, he's turned a new leaf. He helps on the plan. Glenn tells him not to volunteer. He does it in the meeting, and Glenn's just like, you mother. And then he's like busting his ass, coming around. Glenn gave him a wake-up call, and I really think he'll have a heroic death, saving some of the group. But get this. So they're at the Tractor Supply store. Glenn lets Nicholas man the door. Are you fucking kidding me? Into the show with Noah? Man, Glenn, you're a trustworthy dude. Glenn, you're a good dude, Glenn. Oh, Glenn Ree. And he's like, got a good line. He's like, man, I'm not supposed to be here. And Glenn's like, I'm supposed to be delivering pizzas, dude. It's just like, it is what it is. See, Enid discussed her with Carl touching the hand with Ron in the background. See, Aaron and Eric only seems in the meeting. Neither one even had a line. I'm sure there had to be something that was cut out. I mean, I love Aaron and Eric. Those are great characters. Okay, Morgan. Line of the episode, favorite line of the episode. He says, sometimes you're safer when there's no way out. And of course, the No Way Out story arc is what's coming. I think it was like issue 79 through 85 maybe was the No Way Out. And Rick asked him how he learned his stick skills. He says, from a friend. So from a friend, who is the friend? Is the friend still alive? We don't know. All right. My favorites now. All right. Favorite zombie. The first zombie they showed. He's squeaking through those two trucks, and the skin starts to peel off. Oh, it was so gross. And love that zombie. Favorite line, sometimes you're safer when there's no way out. And Eugene, when Heath's walking away, he's like, hey man, I respect the hair game. They both, the mullet and then the dreadlocks, so that was cool. Heath just kind of like shakes his head or whatever. See, my favorite scene, of course, the Eugene and Heath at the gate. That just tickled me. And it was the introduction to Heath. It's the first time we really get to meet Heath, which he had a big part in the episode. I mean, he was there during the meeting with just Deanna, Rick, Carter, Maggie, Morgan when they were to start discussing the plan. All right, let's see. The best performance, I said earlier, Michael Cudlitz, man. The range at the burial, at the ring, and then going and killing zombies. He had a great line. Got to grab the bull by the bull sack. Something like that. Let's see. Favorite special effect, the bite on Carter's face was great. I mean, CG effects was the rock quarry, or at the end when they zoom out and you just see all the zombies. I mean, thousands of zombies, most zombies they've ever had on The Walking Dead. But definitely the bite on Carter had some nice blood, and then he's laying down, the blood started pooling around his eye. It was good stuff. All right, the horn at the end of the episode. Right when shit's going good, except for Carter dies, Rick stabs him because he won't quit screaming. All of a sudden, this horn goes off, kind of like one of those air raids, like, one of those things like little towns used to have when tornadoes and shit would come back in the day. Well, one of those starts going off, and all the zombies pretty much start going, and Rick and them are like, where the hell does that come from? Oh shit, it's coming from home. And so that's the end of the episode. The camera like zooms way back up into the sky, overhead shot of all the thousands and thousands of zombies making their way to Alexandria. It even has a sign like Alexandria this right. It's got to be the wolves. If not, it's like Father Gabriel or Ron or somebody pulling some not a prank, but being an asshole, I guess. Going to kill everybody. All right. So the wolves are attacking. I think Rick said at one point we only had 20 miles left to go. So I'm not sure how far they are away from Alexandria. So the people at Alexandria, they're going to be fighting with the wolves next episode. So remember, like Carol, Maggie, Tara, Rosita, Eugene, Aaron, Eric, Spencer, Deanna, Father Gabriel, Jesse, Sam, Ron, Enid, Carl, some red shirts, and Judith. A bunch of Alexandria red shirts are going to die. But I think Carol's just going to put on her badass big girl panties on and whoop ass. Just go out there and blah, 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 be blasting wolves left and right. And might even not even have an Alexandria see her do it. Just be that badass about it. I don't think anybody big is going to die at all next episode. Nothing whatsoever. I mean, they just had the Carter die, and Ethan Embry was a known actor. I mean, I've been watching him for years. Even like in Dutch with Ed O'Neill back in the early 90s. But Eaton Embry, that's what you can call him now, because he got eaten. Season predictions, we're pretty much going to do No Way Out for first 8 episodes, and I really think it'll end with Carl getting shot in the face. I know the friction with Ron and everything there, that could definitely have a play into it. Like either he's going to shoot Carl, or he's probably going to shoot Rick, and like zombies start taking him down like they did Douglas in the book, and he shoots Carl in the face, or like if they do the same thing with when Jesse's holding on to Carl and holding on to Rick, and the zombies start to eat Sam, and she won't let go of Carl, he chops her fucking arm off right there, and leaves her, it takes Carl with him, she gets eaten by zombies. So I hope that happens again, and maybe that'll happen, and then Ron will be trying to shoot somebody and get taken by zombies and blast Carl in the face. And then I think that'll be the mid-season finale. And I don't know if they'll leave with Carl with a cliffhanger, or they'll show like Rick who start killing every zombie there is and everybody join in on the fun. But I know this has got to happen. After the credits roll, there'll be an after-credits scene with a man sitting there with some binoculars looking at Alexandria, and of course it's going to be Paul Monroe or Jesus. And he'll join the cast in the second half of the season. Which, first 8, No Way Out. Second 8, I want to say a larger world story arc, where they find the hilltop. And then I want to say the season finale, my prediction is Negan will appear. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the big bad Negan himself. I think they're going so fast. I mean, look at that first episode we just watched, how many comics they raced through. And, No Way Out was, 5 comics? And they're starting it off with a bang, so they're going to smoke through that with the wolves / scavengers. And so maybe they'll get to Hilltop episode 12 and, meet Gregory and everybody. And there's going to be your side episodes, your flashbacks. Here's Rosita and Tara hanging out for an episode or some shit like that. Slower episodes for filler. But we're definitely going to get to Negan in the finale. I think it'll go down just like in the comic book. He'll come out and line them all up and eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Give the whole "this is Lucille" spiel. And it'll definitely be a season 1 actor. An actor still left from season 1 that'll get axed. Or Lucille, baseball batted. Daryl, Glenn... Morgan, Rick, Carl, or Carol. And he's not going to beat a woman to death on TV, so you can go ahead and take Carol off the list. Not going to beat a child. Carl's not going to die. So we got Daryl, Glenn, Morgan, or Rick. Glenn was in the comic book, so that would be just so obvious. I don't think they would do it. But then, if they did do it, everybody would be like, oh, well, I thought it was going to be somebody else, and it was just Glenn. So they could do that, and that would really develop Maggie's character some more, because she just lost Herschel, then Beth, and now, if that happens, Glenn. Probably definitely be Morgan. Like Morgan will kind of sacrifice himself. Like, no, take me. The whole life is precious thing, and kind of let Rick see that, which pissed a lot of people off. They bring Lenny James back for just 1 season. Let's see. The one I think it'll be, or not think it'll be. It could be. I would like it to be Daryl. I think kind of the same thing. You want blow, man? Take me, like you did with Joe. And this time Negan will take him. He ain't going to be like Joe did, where he had his goons try to beat him to death. And he's still hanging there. So Daryl will be like, take me. Negan will bring him up. Daryl will look at Carol and have a kiss or say I love you or something right before it happens. Eye contact. Everybody's looking at Rick, can't do nothing. He beats the ever living fuck out of Daryl. Just, you know, like it is in the comic book. It's gonna be the most violent thing, human on human violence TV's ever seen probably. And Nicotera is directing the 16th episode, so that'll probably be what happens. But what I would want to happen that would make me shit my pants in astonishment and really shock me would be if he killed Rick. I mean, holy shit, the internet and Twitter and Facebook, everything would break down. I mean, if he killed Rick, it's all there is to it, man. Holy shit. That would be awesome. Just kills Rick, walks away, ta-ta, end of the season. Well, I'd like to thank you for all joining CaTFisH's Corner. This is a real rough run. I'm new at this. It's presented by Greybeard Gaming, which is our mother, the mothership, and it was created by D.G. Owens. And we're going to be playing a bunch of old school video games and new video games on PCs, some live streaming, some gaming reviews, all sorts of stuff. Kind of stuff like this a little bit. I'll get better at these. I'm going to do different zombie makeup every week, so make sure you check that out. I had fun talking. I'll get better at it. I'm a little nervous, which is weird. I'm just sitting here by myself with some cameras. I'll get better equipment as time goes on. Do as many Walking Dead videos as I can. Predictions. If I hear a spoiler somehow, anything like that. This was the first time again, episode 601 review of The Walking Dead Season 6 premiere. I hope you enjoyed it. This is CaTFisH at the CaTFisH's Corner for Greybeard Gaming. Peace. Alright.